हेलो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप लोग। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब अच्छे होंगे। चैप्टर नंबर 77 फ्रॉम द बुक थीफ रिटन बाय मार्कस ज़्यूज़ैक। कन्फेशंस। द बुक थीफ is Marcus Zuzak. When the Jews were gone, Rudy and Leisure untangled, and the book thief did not speak. There were no answers to Rudy's questions. Leisure did not go home either. She walked forlornly to the train station and walked for her papa for hours. At first, Rudy stayed with her, but since it was a good half day till Hans was due home, she fetched Rosa. On the way back, he told her what had happened, and when Rosa arrived, she asked nothing of the girl. She had already assembled the puzzle and merely stood beside her and eventually persuaded her to sit down. They waited together. When Papa found out that he dropped his bag, he kicked the Bahnhof air. None of them ate that night. Papa's finger desecrated the accordion, murdering song after song. No matter how hard he tried, everything no longer worked. For 3 days, the book thief stayed in bed. Every morning and afternoon, Rudy Steiner knocked on the door and asked if she was still sick. The girl was not sick. On the fourth day, Liesel walked off onto her neighbor's front door and asked if he might go back onto the trees with her where they distributed the bread the previous year. As promised, they walked far down the road to Dachau. They stood in the trees. They were long shapes of light and shade. Pine cones were scattered like biscuits. Thank you, Rudy, for everything, for helping me off the road, for stopping me. She said none of it. Her hand leaned on a flaking branch at her side. Rudy, if I tell you something, will you promise not to say a word to anyone? Of course, he could sense the seriousness in the girl's face and the heaviness in her voice. He leaned on the tree next to hers. What it is, promise. I did already. Do it again. You can't tell your mother, your brother, or Tommy Muller. Nobody. I promise, leaning, looking at the ground. She attempted several times to find the right place to start, reading sentences at her feet, joining words to the pine cones and the scraps of broken branches. Remember, when I was injured playing football, she said, out on the street, it took approximately 3/4 of an hour to explain. 2 wars, an accordion, a Jewish fist fighter, and a basement, not forgetting what happened just few days earlier on Monucci Street. That's why you went for a closer look, Rudy said, with the bread that day, to see if he was there. Yes, crucified Christ, yes. The trees were tall and triangular. They were quiet. Liesel pulled the word shaker from the bag and showed Rudy on one of the pages. On it was a boy with 3 medals hanging around his throat. Hair the color of lemons. Rudy read. His fingers touched the words. You told him about me. At first, Liesel could not talk. Perhaps it was the sudden bumpiness of love she felt for him. Or had she always loved him? It's likely, restricted as she was from speaking. She wanted him to kiss her. She wanted him to drag her hand across and pull her over. It didn't matter where. Her mouth, her neck, her cheek, her skin was empty for it, waiting. Years ago, when they did raced on a muddy field, Rudy was a hastily assembled set of bones with a jagged, rocky smile. In the tries after afternoon, he was a giver of bread and teddy bears. He was a triple Hitler Youth Athletes champion. He was her best friend, and he was a month from his death. And he was a month from his death. Of course, I told you him about you, Liesel said. She was saying goodbye and she didn't even notice, even know it. यहाँ पे होता है हमारा चैप्टर नंबर 77 ख़त्म. मिलेंगे हम नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में विद चैप्टर नंबर 78 इज हरमन्स लिटिल ब्लैक बुक फ्रॉम द बुक थीफ रिटन बाय मार्कस ज्यूजैक. Thank you, my dear friends. Bye for now. Thank you, my viewers, friends, subscribers, everyone. Bye.